It's a Thursday night rivalry in Freeport, Illinois, as the Highland Cougars host the Sauk Valley Skyhawks. We welcome you to Larry F. Kale Gymnasium. I'm Adam Oppenheim. Highland comes in at 9-8 on the season, 6-3 in Region 4 play. For Sauk Valley, they are 10-7, 7-4 in Region 4. Sauk Valley was at Highland earlier this year to play in the Diamond Brothers Insurance Tournament. That was back in December, but these teams did not end up meeting, and they will meet for the first time this season here in Freeport. A game between two clashing styles. Highland likes to run up and down, and Sauk Valley is going to try to turn this into a half-court game. Highland, obviously, a lot of size and strength on the inside. And Sauk Valley, a lot of finesse, a lot of great scores. An extremely young team, one of the youngest teams in Region 4, the Skyhawks, manned by head coach A.J. Sharp in his 7th season as the head man for the Skyhawks. Got the head coaching job at the age of 21. Was a former player for Sauk Valley. For Highland, head coach Eric Walton in his first season. As a head coach, spent 3 seasons prior as an assistant. Well, we'll get you the starting lineups and more keys to the game after this from Highland Community College. Welcome back to Freeport, Illinois. About set to get going between Sauk Valley and Highland. Let's get you the visiting lineup first. A freshman guard from Dayton, Ohio, number 0, Miles Perkins. A sophomore guard from Lake Worth, Florida, number 4, Carlos Perez. A freshman forward from Minneapolis, Minnesota, number 5, Jermaine Jones. A sophomore guard from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, number 12, P.J. Young. And a sophomore forward from Berto, Florida, number 14, Ed Wiggins. Manned once again by A.J. Sharp in his 7th season as the head coach. Assistant Russ Damhoff, who was a coach the previous 31 years before A.J. Sharp took over. Still wanting to coach, so he's now an assistant under his former player, A.J. Sharp, who played for Sauk Valley during his sophomore year. And before his junior year started at Benedictine in Lisle, he took the head coaching job for the Skyhawks, and he's been there ever since. Now for the Highland starting lineup, a sophomore guard from Rockford, Illinois, number 2, Walter Hill Jr. A freshman guard from Madison, Wisconsin, number 4, Anthony Washington. A sophomore guard from Rinjim, Jigawa State, Nigeria, number 5, Mohamed Bello Suleiman. a redshirt sophomore guard from Dangriga Town, Belize, number 20, Jaheim Seago. And a redshirt sophomore forward from Chicago, Illinois, number 23, Chin Hansen. Highland will be without Mayo Swansea. He left last week's game with a back injury. They hope to have him back on Saturday. Eric Walton, 9-8 as in his first season as the head coach. Jaheim Seago is back in the lineup after missing the past 2 games. Face mask on his face, or a mask rather on his face. The matchup to watch, Chin Hansen for Highland. Over 3 blocks a game, is second in the nation in total blocks with 53. Ed Wiggins has 41 blocks. He's 5th in the nation. But the tip will be Jermaine Jones against Chin Hansen. Sauk Valley against Highland. And a little bit of trouble with the jump ball. First it was Jones, then it was Hansen. And on the 3rd try, it comes down. So we're going to try the jump ball for the 4th time. Off to a rocky start, but that time it's won cleanly by Hansen. And Highland starts with the ball. Highland and the white and orange. Sauk Valley and the red and black. Chin Hansen has his first touch. Can't hit, and Sauk Valley has possession of the ball. Miles Perkins, an extremely talented freshman, is a key to watch for Sauk Valley. Inside Jones, can't hit over Hansen, and Suleiman comes up with the ball. Mohamed Bello works to the baseline, hooks a pass to Washington. We'll see if there's any rust for Jaheim Seago, missing the past couple of games. Suleiman fires a 3. Short, and the rebound is with Jones. Miles Perkins, 11.5 points. The true freshman from Dayton, Ohio. Try to go high off the window, it's no good. And Hill Jr. comes away with the ball, looking to push. Here is Walter Hill Jr. He lost the ball. Perkins pulls up for 3. In and out. Flying in for the offensive rebound, it's Ed Wiggins. And then he pulls the 3. Back iron. 3rd chance for Sauk Valley. Open shooter from the corner. Left it on the front iron. It was P.J. Young, one of the emerging players for Sauk Valley this season. Hill Jr. works his way to the cup for the first basket on this Thursday night. At the other end, it was Perkins. No good. And then Jones went over the back of Suleiman. Quick sub for Highland. Suleiman out of the game. Eric Walton not happy about something he did at the offensive end. So Kevin Morales from Immokalee, Florida comes in. Highland coming off a win last Saturday versus Daly, where they led 76-53 with 9 minutes to go. And then was a 22-8 run for the Bulldogs before Walter Hill Jr. got the basket to count, and there was a foul. The final was 86-85, and Highland survived. On the drive, off the window, it's good. Carlos Perez. Nice move by Hill Jr., but he lost the ball. P.J. Young, Morales in front of him. Over the top, he couldn't knock it in off glass. Hill Jr., step back, got a 3. And now a deflection. Here comes Hill Jr. With the left, he banks it in. First 7 for the Cougars. Walter Hill Jr. coming off that game-winning and one basket. Had 23 in that game. Was 9 for 19 from the floor. PJ Young, aggressive. It was knocked off his knee. Hill Jr. on the defensive end. 3 subs come in for Sauk Valley. J.P. Schilling, Saya Blott, and Q-Tim Heald. J.P. Schilling, number 2 in red, is the leading returning scorer for the Skyhawks. A facilitator first. Now coming off the bench. Hansen inside. Got Jones in the air and drew the foul. Hansen can't connect on the first free throw. Joseph Dangluth comes in for Jones. Already 4 subs, not even 4 minutes in for Sauk Valley. Hansen gets the second free throw to go. Highland leads by 6 early. Dangluth inside. Healds. New was off the entire way. Nice rebound by Dangluth. And it hits out of bounds. Third chance for the Skyhawks. It's been a point of emphasis in the second semester of the season for Eric Walton. Boxing out and limiting opponents' opportunities on the offensive ends. Nice pass off the inbound. And Ed Wiggins on the receiving end. Hansen working at the foul line. Couldn't bank it in. Washington flies in from the weak side and gets fouled. Already the 3rd team foul against Sauk Valley. And Washington will shoot 2 free throws. He is no good on the first. Also another injury note for Highland. Steven Jurisic battling an injury. And might come in today, he might not. He is dressed on the bench. Washington made one of the 2 foul shots, and then a turnover at the other end by Blott. Not the start that Sauk Valley wanted. They want to try to keep Highland out of transition and also try to slow down Walter Hill Jr. And Hill Jr. already has 7. Washington and Morales. Hill Jr. with 10 on the shot clock. Bounces. Hansen into the paint. Another foul. Hansen will shoot 2. Already the 5th and 6th free throws for the Cougars. Hansen misses a second foul shot. Normally a really good free throw shooter. He's had a couple games where he struggled, but he's still sitting at 78% coming into tonight. He splits the pair, and Highland leads by 6. Heald pops out for a three. Can't connect. Seago up the floor. Hansen catches and has it knocked away. Young and Perkins come back in. Heald and Blatt head to the bench. You can already see the impact of having Jaheim Seago back in the lineup. Brings a ton on both ends, but especially the defensive end. The cutter, it's Wiggins. Pump fake, goes by Seago, and scores off the window. Ed Wiggins and Chin Hansen, very different players, but both do a lot of the same things. Seago gets the bounce from three. Just his second made three-pointer of the season. Wiggins can't respond. Seago this time gives it up to Washington, who's tripped by Wiggins. The fouls are starting to stack up for Sauk Valley. 5 team fouls for the Skyhawks, none for Highland. Seago comes to the bench. David Udella comes in. Quay Andrews comes in for the first time for Sauk Valley. Hansen looking for post position. Morales. 7 on the shot clock. Hill Jr. draws out Perkins. The floater over the top hits back iron. AJ Sharp calling out instructions, trying to get into a set. Miles Perkins draws out Udella. Has it poked away, and that is the first foul against Highland. It's a shooting foul. Miles Perkins will shoot 2. Went to Wayne High School in Ohio. Was a guy who A.J. Sharp knew could pass it pretty well, but didn't really expect this scoring output, at least to the degree that's been this season. 11.5 points per contest. Perkins goes 2 for 2 from the line. Udella over the head of Washington. It was the right idea. Just looked like it slipped out of his hand. Perkins calling out directions. Gets it back and drives the baseline. Andrews pops open, well short. And not able to keep it in play is Sauk Valley. That was Nate Furl. Hansen battling with Andrews. Down low. Udella try to feed it inside. Second straight turnover by David Udella. Young off the bounce, leaves it off. Furl. Timeout Highland. Back-to-back turnovers by the Cougars. Eric Walton not happy. He calls his first timeout. Highland leads by 3 with 12:11 to go in the first half. 12:11 to play back here in Freeport, Illinois. Highland leads by 3. After the timeout, Jaheim Segal pops back into the game for David Udella. Segal already hit 1 3. Can't hit this time. Perkins pulls the string and buries it from distance. First triple of the game for the Skyhawks. Segal down the lane. Float game is pure. Perkins being tightly guarded by Morales. Drives the baseline. Nice defense by Anthony Washington. James Segal doesn't take a lot of threes. Had 17 attempted coming into tonight. Hit 1 3-pointer. It's now 2 for 19. Segal down the lane was blocked by Furl. He came from behind and knocked it away from the Belize native. Good minutes by Furl. He heads to the bench for Dang Luth. Hansen comes out for Daryl Toney, who had his best half of collegiate basketball last Saturday against Daly. Had 10 points in the first half. Dang Luth against Toney. To the block. Dang Luth scores. Segal, bullet feet, Toney trying to use his body, goes through contact, and the basket goes +1. Well, if Daryl Toney can give Eric Walton good minutes off the bench, he's more inclined to play the double big lineup with Chin Hansen, who's been the Cougars' best player this season, and Daryl Toney. Toney caps off the 3-point play. Dang Luth comes back out after about a 30-second stint. Furl back on the floor. Perkins can't hit the 3 as he was moving to his right. Hill Jr. sees a driving lane. Got fouled. Furl went up for the block and ends up landing on top of Hill Jr. Hill Jr. makes the first foul shot. Furl out, Wiggins back in. Again, we've talked about it all season long, Chin Hansen. What a great shot blocker he is. But in the top 5 in the nation all season long. Ed Wiggins not far behind him. At 2.8 blocks per game. That's 5th best. Perkins skips it. Young from the corner. And a foul called against Jaheim Segal. Sauk Valley, 3 more subs. Schilling, Shields, and Blatt back in for the Skyhawks. Coming free is Blatt. Yes, sir, from the corner. Segal finds Toney. Nice delivery from Jaheim Segal. And Toney has his second basket. Blott now has 15 straight games with a three-pointer. That's all but one game he's played in this season. Andrews, tough step back. Wouldn't go over Seago. Hill Jr., Washington, Morales. Hill Jr. with the shot clock under 15. Feeds Morales. Moves while he pulls up for three. It's short. Tony on the stick back. Daryl Toney, another strong first half. Schilling gives it up to Wiggins. Popping free is Heald. Got it from three. Tim Heald was 0 for 2. Had a couple of nice looks. This one he cashes out. Morales. In and out. Tony on the glass. Daryl Toney, a giant impact in his first 7 minutes on the court. Blott over Toney. That was a difficult shot. Morales skies for the rebound. Seago. It's going to be backcourt violation. Hill does end up picking the ball up. But it's a turnover for Highland. And Furl comes in for Andrews. Suleiman comes in for Washington. Wiggins coming on the cut. It finds its way out to Heald. Back-to-back threes for Tim Heald. The lead is 2 for Highland. Morales works to the mid-range. Back iron. J.P. Schilling looks to push, attacks, and gets fouled. A full head of steam for Schilling, who doesn't always look for a shot. Was a facilitator on the team last year. Averaged just under 6 assists per game. He's at 4.5 assists this season and scores 5 points. A.J. Sharp was hoping that Schilling coming off the bench would give him less pressure to need to score the ball. His best attribute is the way he reads the floor. Schilling perfect on both free throws. Wiggins comes out for Andrews. And Anthony Washington also checked back in after the first foul shot. And so did Hansen. Hill Jr. draws out Heald. Washington in the corner. Hill Jr., the teardrop goes. It was getting down to the end of the shot clock. And not a very quality shot. That was a good shot by Furl, but it just rolled off. Suleiman, fancy ball handling, and picks up the foul against Quay Andrews, rather. That's the 18th foul against the Skyhawks. So 1-1 for Suleiman. Seago comes back in for Highland. Suleiman cannot hit the front end. JP Schilling to the rim again. Aggressive. This time he couldn't finish. And then a foul against Furrow. Not a good foul, because it will send Hansen to the line. 19th foul against Sauk Valley. So Highland has one more, 1-1 this half. Hansen, good on the front end. Now 3 for 5 from the line tonight. Second is in and out. JP Schilling has Washington on him. Trying to scan the floor. No one could get free. And the foul goes against Washington. As his palms to the ceiling. Not happy about the call. Screen tried to set up Andrews, but Seago closed quickly. Under 10 on the shot clock. Schilling against Washington. Leaves it off for Blott. Around and out on the three-pointer. Rebounds chased down by Andrews. Schilling has the big Hansen on him. Schilling will try to take Hansen to the cup. Weaves around him and scores in the foul. A difficult move in traffic by Schilling, but he had the speed advantage against Hansen, and he took advantage. He missed the free throw, so Sauk Valley still trails by 1. Suleiman. Hansen is just battling for post position against Andrews. Suleiman in the middle finds its way to Hansen. And a foul against Sauk Valley. That's a tough foul. As the ball was loose, and then Hansen scooped it up right before Andrews got there. So Chin Hansen goes right back to the line, where he is 3 of 6. In and out on the first. 3 subs in for Sauk Valley. Miles Perkins, Carlos Perez, and Ed Wiggins. Second, back iron, and Hansen misses both. The 2 guards going at it. Perkins against Hill Jr. Young was open for 3, decides to drive and draws the foul against Hill Jr. 6th team foul for the Cougars. PJ Young is good on the first. 71% from the charity stripe this season. PJ Young, who AJ Sharp said has done a good job stepping up this semester on and off the court, becoming one of the leaders for this young Sauk Valley team. Inside, Hansen takes his time and scores on the inside. Just the first field goal made for Chin Hansen. Jones thought about the three, and Perkins will try to isolate against Seago. Finds Jones. Yes! Jermaine Jones from downtown. Inside, Hansen is denied. Highland trails by 2. Inbound goes up top to Hill Jr. Corner three-pointer is flat by Washington. Hansen the rebound against Wiggins. A great shot blocker. But that time, Hansen scores in the paint. Timeout, Sauk Valley, tied at 33. Been a battle for the first 16. And 4:04 remains in the first half. (33 all) after the Sauk Valley timeout. They have possession of the ball. Driving against Hansen, can't finish, was Perez. And Furrow had the rebound, and he was bumped. And that's the second against Hill Jr. Furrow will head to the line, and air balls. You don't see that very often. That was not particularly close. Seago trying to drive, uses strength advantage. And he picks up the foul against Perkins. Sure, one of the messages from A.J. Sharp, the halftime break, is limit the fouling against Highland. Cougars do have a size advantage. But the Skyhawks had 5 fouls in the first 6 or so minutes. Well, Seago, in his return to the lineup, has 6 points. Make it 7. Balanced scoring for Highland. Led by Hill Jr. with 11. Tony has 9. Hansen and Seago each have 7. Miles Perkins. Suleiman is on him. 5 on the shot clock. Perkins sees a driving lane and got pushed from behind. Fouls against Suleiman. First against Mohamed Bello. Perkins is 2 for 2 from the line. And rattles the second in. Perkins has 7 points. Seago attacks, meets Wiggins, gets it back, tried to stuff it, and got fouled. Well, Ed Wiggins is going to be one of those guys that is going to challenge a shot, no matter who it is. And was able to knock it away from Seago at first. And then got it back and was fouled by Perez. A.J. Sharp said before the game that there was a good likelihood of Wiggins and Hansen meeting at the rim, possibly a couple times tonight. And the first meeting at the Summit was actually Seago against the sophomore Wiggins. Jaheim Seago splits a pair at the line. Highland back in the lead with under 3 to play. Perkins launches a 3. It's all net. As Miles Perkins is starting to cook into double figures with 10 points. Seago takes Perkins off the bounce. Who is the foul against? It's against Perkins. That's his second. So both lead guards have 2. Hill Jr. for Highland and Miles Perkins for Sauk Valley. And Seago goes back to the line. Miles Perkins might be done for the half just to prevent him from picking up that third foul, because Highland is really attacking him, the defensive end. Schilling comes in for Perkins. As Seago makes the second free throw. And we're tied at 38. Schilling drives baseline, looking for an outlet. The outlet is Perez. Swishes home the mid-range J. Seago trying to use his size to his advantage. Has it knocked away. This is maybe the most aggressive we've seen Jaheim Seago in the half court all season long. Always a dynamic player in transition. But in the half court, he has been excellent tonight. While Perkins comes back in for Schilling after it looked like Schilling was holding his wrist, trying to avoid picking up that third foul. Washington, Hansen against Wiggins. Here's the matchup everyone is looking forward to, and it was knocked out of his hands by Miles Perkins. Looked like Sauk Valley was trying to come with a soft double, and then the second guy came to the ball as soon as Hansen put it on the deck. Young finds Perkins, no hesitation. It rolls around and drops out. One more pass, open shooter, Young, got a second 3. Another second opportunity for Sauk Valley. Tipped away from Tony, back it goes to Seago, attacks and tried to put Sauk Valley on a poster and draws 2 foul shots. It was P.J. Young stepping in there, trying to take the charge. He was in the restricted area. Seago was ready for takeoff. Seago good on the first. Now tied for the team lead and scoring with 11. And snaps in the second foul shot. And will now come out of the game for David Udella. Team Seago 7 for 9 from the foul line in the first half. Highland trails by 3. Perez feeds it inside of Wiggins. And David Udella picks up a quick foul. And Udella quickly comes out. Hansen had about a 10-second break. And Wiggins is good on the front end of the 1-and-1. Quay Andrews comes in for Furl. Well, we expected a close game. These two teams are rivals, Sauk Valley from Lee County, Illinois. About 45 minutes south of Freeport. And right now, the visitors have a 5-point lead. Coming up on 1 minute to play in the first half. Hill Jr. was looking for Washington. Perkins takes it away. And then reaching from behind was Washington. And Highland is over the limit. 2 more foul shots for the Skyhawks. And Miles Perkins, an 86% foul shooter, goes back to the line and is now 5 for 5 from the charity stripe. All net on the second. Seago comes in for Tony. Largest lead of the game for Sauk Valley. It's 7. Another deflection and another turnover forced by the Sauk Valley defense. Two against 2. Schilling against Hill Jr. Perez slipped, finds its way to Schilling. Contested 3, way short. Good closeout by Hill Jr. And Highland might hold for 1. Seago attacks, it's off his foot. 3 straight possessions with a turnover from Highland. And on top of that, a foul called against Seago. So 2 more foul shots coming from Sauk Valley. One of their best first halves all season long. They averaged 70.7 points per game. They were second to last in the region in field goal percentage and bottom 3 in three-point percentage, but they rebound the ball well. And they can knock down threes. As the first free throw is good from Perez. And so far, that's been the formula. They've attempted a lot of threes. They've knocked down 7 triples in the first half, and they've converted from the free throw line. It's a double-figure lead for Sauk Valley. Hill Jr. will hold for the final shot. Finds its way to Washington, attacks, and Wiggins went up to meet him, but hit him on the arm. 2 shots coming for Washington. Then Washington had 10 against Staley. That was just his second game in double figures all year. At 10 points, came against Clark Junior Varsity. That was a game on November the 3rd to open the season for Highland. Washington gets the bounce on the second foul shot. 2.8 to play. Bullet feed inside. Perkins gets off a look from three. Can't convert, but Sauk Valley will take an 8-point lead heading into the halftime locker room. Right near their season high and most points in a first half. They score 50 and lead the Highland Cougars 50-42. Sauk Valley is led by PJ Young Miles Perkins. He has 12. PJ Young has 8. Ed Wiggins, Q Tim Heald, and Carlos Perez each have 6. James Seago has 12 for Highland. Hill Jr. has 11, and Tony has 9. Well, Highland is down by 8 heading into the halftime locker room against Sauk Valley. The rivalry between Sauk Valley and Highland. At the halftime break, we'll be back for the second half from Freeport, Illinois. Welcome back to Larry F. Kao Gymnasium in Freeport, Illinois, as Sauk Valley has a scoring outburst in the first half. They put up 50 on the Cougars and lead by 8, 50-42. For Sauk Valley, it's tied for their highest scoring half this season. They had 50 versus Wilbur Wright. That came in the second half on November 18th. That was a blowout victory for Sauk Valley. This game very much still in the balance. Once again, the leading scorers for the visitors, Sauk Valley. Miles Perkins has 12. P.J. Young has 8. Perez, Wiggins, and Heald each have 6. Seago has 12 for Highland. Hill Jr. has 11. Tony has 9. Chin Hansen just was 7 points in the first half. One of the 3 keys for A.J. Sharp was to try to limit Hill Jr. and Hansen. Hill Jr. got off to a great start, scoring the first 7 for the Cougars, but just scored 4 the rest of the half. I'm sure one of the main messages for the Highland Cougars was to try to limit Sauk Valley to 1 shot and just play better defensively. Sauk Valley was the team that got into a lot of foul trouble early in the first half. And Highland comes up being the team giving up a lot of free throws. On the first possession of the second half, the shot is short. Third opportunity, and now a fourth. Finally put in by Carlos Perez. So a similar story from the first half. A missed shot, but then second and third, and that time a fourth opportunity. Seago on the drive! That was nasty. He almost had a poster in the first half, and that time came flying down the lane to throw it down. Highland trails by 8 as it's poked out of bounds by Suleiman. Well, that dunk will get the crowd energized early. Pretty good crowd on this Thursday night. We're in Freeport, Illinois. Not particularly warm, just 23 degrees. So that's poked out by Highland. A near turnover by Sauk Valley off the inbound. Perkins goes by Suleiman and lays it in with the left. Miles Perkins has 14. Hansen against Wiggins. It's now pushed pretty far out. Hill Jr. off the rotation. Sauk Valley can't get back in front of Hill Jr. And he cashes out from the mid-range. Jermaine Jones, aggressive. And the fouls against Hansen. That is the second against Chin Hansen. So the lefty, Jermaine Jones, goes to the line and misses the first foul shot. Can't convert on the second either. Trying to chase it down was Perez. Knocked over a chair as well. The Sauk Valley bench. Actually, a pair of chairs. Suleiman is guarded by P.J. Young. Suleiman. Seago with 15. Good ball movement. Suleiman can't cash out, and Hansen is fouled on the putback attempt. Hansen's all net on the first foul shot. And timeout Highland. Early timeout. Just over 2 minutes into the second half of play. Highland trails 54-47. After the 30-second timeout, Hansen will have one more free throw to shoot. Highland trails 54-47. Back iron on the second, so the free throw troubles continue from Chin Hansen, who was 3 of 8 in the first half. P.J. Young has it against Hill Jr. Trying to use his size advantage down low. He slips around him and scores the basket. Hill Jr. finds the cutter, Seago. Big bounce into the lane and then tossed it off the leg of Dengluth. Suleiman. Young's on him. Trying to go to work. Crosses over. Fadeaway jumper. It's all net. Suleiman's first bucket tonight. Young tries to answer. No good. And then a foul called on the rebound is Seago. Got knocked down by Perez. Rather, it's against Dengluth. That's his 4th foul. Hasn't played a ton tonight either. So Nate Furrow will come in. Suleiman makes a living off of those tough, difficult shots. Off-balance jumpers he works on every day. Seago couldn't locate Hill Jr. Perkins looking for help, finds Perez. Shot clock running low, Furrow has it, and he's able to squeeze it in off the glass before Hansen got there. Seago try to thread the needle to Hansen. Hansen's telling Seago to throw it up top. Suleiman comes out. Kevin Morales comes in. Kevin Morales, no points in the first half. Washington finds Hansen. The float game is pure. Shin Hansen's in double figures with 10. Young skips it. The ball switches sides, and Perez wasn't able to finish. Battle for the rebound. Wiggins has it, goes up strong. Another second chance opportunity for the Skyhawks. Hansen will set a screen for Hill Jr. Drives the baseline. Cutters Washington. It was blocked away by Wiggins. Hill Jr. gets it back. Corner three short. And a tough rebound inside by Sauk Valley. Now Perkins against Morales. Finds an open shooter. Young, well short. Hill Jr. lobs to Seago. And it was too close to the rim. So as Seago was about to take off, he realized pass was offline. Blott comes in, and so does Andrews and Schilling. Schilling straight on, buries a three. J.P. Schilling, sometimes a reluctant shooter, and is connected on his 10th triple of the season. And the lead is at 12 for Sauk Valley. Hill Jr., the response from downtown. Timeout Highland. Hill Jr. has 16, but the Cougars trail by 9 with 14:15 to go in the second half. Highland calls the timeout, and they're up and pressuring with Washington. Aggressive drive, ends up in an open shooter from the corner. Short by Blott, another offensive board. Over the top to Blott. Tony comes in for Highland. And they play some minutes in double big. Maybe that can help with the rebounding issue that Sauk Valley is presented. Schilling with 5 on the shot clock. against Washington. He lost the ball. Tony comes up with it. Morales. Hill Jr. was open for a moment. They finally get to him. Fade away from the baseline. It's perfect for Walter Hill Jr. He loves that fall away. Here he's headed behind the backboard as he releases. Highland trails by just 7. Schilling over Tony. He hits again. JP Schilling has been a really reluctant scorer this year. Has scored double figures once this season. It was in the first game of the year. He has 9 right now. Morales is trapped and a foul called. That's a bailout as it goes against Andrews. Morales was stuck. Morales off the inbounds. Hill Jr., nice hesitation. The floater is well off the mark. Rebound, it's Tony. Daryl Tony was great in the first half. Made some impact plays. And Highland looks to stay attached, down by 7. Blocked, right wing 3. Goes down. Back to double figures for Sauk Valley. Timeout Skyhawks. They lead by 10 with 12:16 to go. (68-58). Sauk Valley leads. Washington has the ball against Heald. Hill Jr. finds room, but can't bury the 3. Loose on the deck. Last touch by Sauk Valley. It stays with Highland. Highland is connected on just 3 triples in this game. 2 from Hill Jr., 1 from Seago. Morales around the basket. He still holds. Pass inside of Hansen. Good help defense and recovery by Sauk Valley. Hill Jr. has it with 4. Long 3. Couldn't bank it in. It's loose. Heald on the deck, gets it away to Schilling. Blott Guarded tightly by Hill Jr. And the Cougars force a much-needed turnover. Sauk Valley has 4 subs coming in. It's Perez, Jones, Perkins, and Young. Washington nearly threw it away, and Morales snatches it and then draws the foul against Perez. Hill Jr. draws out Andrews, finds Morales. Short, Tony tips it twice, second opportunity, bullseye! Hill Jr. has his 3rd triple, he's up to 21. Pass inside, the finish and the foul for Jermaine Jones. Great response by Sauk Valley after it looked like Highland was trying to get closer. It's the first points of the game by Jermaine Jones. Averages 9 this season. Seago comes in for Tony. Jones, no good. Seago has the rebound. Leads 9 for Sauk Valley. Hill Jr. trying to take over this game. He's gonna need some help as Seago just launches into the bench. Hits assistant coach Chris Dalio. He clearly thought someone was on the left wing. Young drives Hansen. Perkins. Yes! Miles Perkins, the freshman from Dayton, Ohio, has 17. Seago aggressive through 3. He banks it in. Young attacks. Another 3-pointer. This one short from Perez. Highland down 10 after the midway point of the second half. Nice in and out move. Bounces off from Hill Jr. Seago has the tap. One of the best offensive games this season from Jaheim Seago. He has 18, but Highland trails by 8 with 9:37 remaining in the second half. High-scoring game here in Highland as the Cougars trail the Skyhawks 73-65. This was about the time in the game that last Saturday's game flipped versus Daly. Highland led 76-53 and allowed a 22-8 run before Walter Hill Jr. ends up with the game-winning basket. Young drives, denied by Hansen. Perkins will trigger the inbound. Down low to Wiggins. And a foul called. It goes against Morales. Perkins gets rid of it. Perez bounces. Wiggins is fouled. Seago nearly picked up the block. Instead, Ed Wiggins will shoot two. Wiggins not known so much for his scoring ability, but he scored tonight, 10 points. And has battled down low with Hansen most of the night. Washington sees a couple of bodies and threw it away, but a foul called. It was a late whistle, but I believe it was the right call. As Washington was bumped off his spot. Fouls against Quay Andrews. That's his fourth. Tough inbounds pass to gather in. And Hansen stepped on the baseline. Now Andrews will come out for Young. Suleiman comes in for Hansen, who has his first break of the second half. Can't imagine it would be a very long break. Young gives it back to Perkins, who has had the ball a lot tonight. Foul off the ball. It's a grab against Suleiman. Miles Perkins just gets it in before the 5-second count. Perez over Suleiman. In and out. Wiggins tips it. And Mohamed Bello grabs it. Skips it to Seago. Attacks. Euro steps. Is denied. A blocking foul called against Schilling. And now a technical against Seago. As he was going at, or at least turned towards Schilling on the ground and took a couple steps in his direction. Not a point in the game. You want a technical foul. Highland already down 10, and Sauk Valley has just been living at the free throw line. So Perkins will shoot the two foul shots. A very good free throw shooter at 86%, and he bottoms both. 19 for the freshman Miles Perkins. No baskets inside 2-point range. It's been 8 free throws and 3 3-pointers. Actually, check that. He has 1 2-point basket. Coming in, about 70% of his shots have been from 3-point range. Now Seago will get his 2 free throws. It has been an excellent game for Jaheim Seago. took a small turn with the technical foul. He does bury both free throws. 20 points is a new season high, passing his 19 points versus State Fair Community College. That was on November 28th. Sauk Valley still keeping Highland at arm's distance. Extra pass to the corner. P.J. Young's three hits the iron, and Washington has the rebound. Suleiman. Hill Jr. Morales, open look. Yes, sir, from the corner. First basket for Kevin Morales. And then Young was left alone. Giant response from three for the Skyhawks. Highland didn't get back after a made basket. And Sauk Valley makes the Cougars pay. The lead's back at 10 with 7:47 to go. Well, every time Highland gets close, Sauk Valley is just able to keep the Cougars away. Although Highland putting up 70 points is pretty high for this point in the game. Cougars just averaged 74 points per game, but they've allowed 80. For a Sauk Valley team that's not a great offensive team. Morales is off this time from distance. Perkins will wait for a Wiggins screen. Perez backs it out with 10 on the shot clock. Attacks Hill Jr. will fade away. Difficult shot, and Morales has the rebound. Highland looks to run. Seago attacks, jump stops, gets fouled, and the basket will count. Great footwork inside by Jaheim Seago. This has been a showcase of what Jaheim Seago has worked on in the offseason. Talked about improving his shooting. He said a three-pointer today, and then attacking and getting to other parts of the floor. He's done all of that today. Another response, not this time. From the corner, it was off by Perez. Hill Jr. Morales. Suleiman is doubled, and he coughs it up. Schilling weaving through traffic. Perkins thought about it. And the rebound is last touched by Seago. P.J. Young comes in for Quay Andrews. Highland trails 80-73. Schilling is left wide open off the inbounds, but he airballs. And then a foul against Perez of Sauk Valley. Fourth against Perez. Seago will go back to the line. He's already made 10 foul shots. Team foul, so it's a 1-and-1. Jones and Black back in for Sauk Valley. Perez heads to the bench with the 4 fouls, and so does J.P. Schilling. Seagull misses the second. Last touch by Wiggins. Great effort on the boards by Kevin Morales, giving up a lot of size. That's able to make Wiggins work for the rebound. Highland trails by just 6. Suleiman. Back to Suleiman. Corner 3. Rolls off. It was almost halfway down. And then deflection and a steal. Suleiman on the deck. Washington. Cutter. Seago! Four-point game. Highland has turned up the defensive intensity. Suleiman was on the deck for that last ball after causing the deflection. Sauk Valley trying to get organized. Young with 5 on the shot clock. Perkins. That was a deep 3, and Seago has the rebound. All the momentum with the Cougars as we come under 5 minutes to play. Morales. Seago. Suleiman in the paint. With the left hand, he couldn't bank it in. That was a difficult shot. He got his own miss, though. Second opportunity. In and out for Morales. The crowd was hinging on that shot. Highland's defense starting to close down looks. Big three-point shot. All net from the corner. It's Saya blocked. That's his second made field goal today. It's a big one. As Highland had their three-pointer go in and out, it would have cut the lead to 1. Instead, three-pointer by Sauk Valley, and the lead is back at 7 for the Skyhawks. 4:20 to go. Sauk Valley 83, Highland 76. .420 to go after the Sauk Valley timeout. Each team still has 2 timeouts. Big last sequence we saw before the timeout. Highland nearly cut the lead to 1. Instead, Sauk Valley now maintains a 7-point lead. Inside, Seago's open. He pump fakes and then scores. Seago's up to 26 points. Pass inside of Jones. Leaves it on the front iron. Suleiman finds Seago. Washington. Seago thought about it, attacks, has to get rid of it. Hill Jr. can't keep it in play. Seago got caught in the air and had to get rid of the ball. Miles Perkins has had Washington on him all day. Good pass. Highland trying to rotate. Not good enough. Coy Andrews hits a big bucket. And the lead is 7 for Sauk Valley. Suleiman. Hill Jr. trying to call something out. 8 on the shot clock. Pulls up for 3. Short. Washington the rebound. In traffic. Hill Jr. tries again and was fouled from behind. 19 foul against Sauk Valley. So 1-1 for Hill Jr. Blott and Wiggins come in for Sauk Valley. The front end is good. Hill Jr. has 22. Hill Jr. also makes the second. Timeout, Eric Walton. Still 5 is the lead for Sauk Valley. 2:45 to play in the second half. .245 to go in the second half. Set for an exciting finish between two rivals, Sauk Valley. Lee County, Illinois, 45 minutes south of Freeport. Knocked away by Morales. Last touched him. Highland's gonna have to come up with some defensive stops. Sauk Valley scored 50 in the first half. That was tied for a season high for most points in a half. Perkins against Seago. Speed advantage, but can't finish. Washington, Morales, bingo! Second big three-pointer of the second half for Kevin Morales. The lead is 2 for Sauk Valley with under 2 to play. Perkins finds Schilling. Wiggins is posted up against Washington. Finds Schilling. Way short. And it was actually deflected. And at last touch, Hill Jr. Shot clock did not reset as the ball did not touch iron. So just 4 on the shot clock. Schilling comes out for Jermaine Jones. Perkins will be the inbounder. Gets it in bounds. Shot clock running low. Perkins, that was a tough floater, and Highland comes up with the rebound. A chance to tie or take the lead. Suleiman finds Morales. Yes, sir! Kevin Morales, a clutch triple. Back-to-back three-pointers by the redshirt sophomore captain. Suleiman picks up the foul against Perez. 18th foul for Highland. He poked it away cleanly the first time and fouled the second time. .108 to play. Highland leads by 1. A furious comeback here in the second half, as Perez is on net on the first. Schilling set to check back in for Blott. It'll be Schilling, Perkins, Jones, Wiggins, and Perez on the floor for Sauk Valley. Hill Jr., Seago, Washington, Morales, and Suleiman on the floor for the Cougars. Perez hits both, and Sauk Valley is back in the lead. Morales has hit 2 straight three-pointers. Hill Jr. works to the paint. Suleiman, open, 3, bullseye! A 3-point barrage by Highland, and they lead by 2. Timeout, Sauk Valley. The first three-pointer of the game by Mohamed Bello Suleiman. Who started basketball at a competitive level when he was just a junior in high school. From Nigeria. He was very thankful his family allowed him this opportunity to play here collegiately in the United States. And that was the biggest bucket of his season. 42 seconds to play. Sauk Valley trails by 2. Perkins has 19. Perez, Young, and Wiggins each have 10. Another clutch time game for Highland. On Saturday, they won by 1 over Daly with a game-winning shot by Walter Hill Jr. Perkins has to get rid of it. Saya Blott against Morales. Foul is called. Kevin Morales cannot believe it. It was a bump on the drive. Blott will shoot a 1-and-1. As now both teams have 19 fouls. Blott is cash on the first. Pressure free throws from Saya Blott from Miami, Florida. Jones comes out. Andrews comes in. Blott, this free throw for the tie. Yes. 29.1 to play. The shot clock is now off, and Highland will try to hold for the last shot. Last week, it was Hill Jr. in the clutch with the basket and the foul. Who will it be this time? Perez is guarding Hill Jr. Timeout, Highland. 9.6 to play. Eric Walton is going to grab his board and try to draw up the game-winning play for Highland. Looks like it'll be the same five that have closed this game and done a great job of walking the lead down for Sauk Valley. Morales, Washington, Hill Jr., Seago, and Suleiman. The five breaking the huddle for Sauk Valley. It's Carlos Perez, Saya Blatt, Ed Wiggins, Quay Andrews, and Miles Perkins. One timeout for Sauk Valley. Highland just called their last timeout. They do put time on the clock. So now there is 11 seconds left. Tied at 89. Highland, the last crack here in regulation. Hill Jr. with 5, steps back for 3. Yes, sir! Walter Hill Jr. in the clutch again. They're going to check if it's a 3 or a 2. There's a timeout on the floor. Walter Hill Jr. has done it again. The biggest shot of Highland's season was last Saturday versus Daly. And this shot is right up there with it. 3.2 to go. Highland now leads 92-89. Sauk Valley is going to need to go the length of the court. Andrews is the inbounder. Down the floor to Wiggins. Trying to get to Perkins. Perez at the horn. He got it to go. It's a 2-point basket. It is ruled a 2. It was deflected by Wiggins. Perez gathered, and off one leg, he got it to go. But it's a 2-point shot. And Highland survives 92-91. A frantic finish. As Highland improves to 10-8, 7-3 in Region 4. Sauk Valley falls to 10-8, 7-5 in Region 4 play. We're going to hear from Walter Hill Jr. and Kevin Morales after this short break. Welcome back to Welcome back to Highland Community College. Here with Walter Hill Jr. Another game winner. Eric Walton called a timeout with 10 seconds to play. What was the plan of attack?
I mean, if you want me to be honest with you, just give the ball to me. I'll go score it. That's game right there. But, I mean, our team, my teammates did a great job coming back. We fought hard. I mean, Kev hit some great threes down in the stretch, and Mito hit that three right there to give us a lead. So I'm proud of my team.
Well, you're one of 3 captains on this team. The other 2 came up big. Kevin Morales was scoreless in the first half. Ends up with 3 clutch triples.
Yeah.
Felt like all of them were huge. And then Jaheim Seago, can you touch on both of their impacts today?
Kev always, he's a great player. He always got that dog in him. I just need him bring it out. He brought that out today. Jaheim, he go to the basket, get rebounds, dunk the ball, as you can see. I mean, he's just all-around dog.
It seemed like Sauk Valley was up most of the second half, and you guys just couldn't get over that hump.
Yeah.
What was the change with about 4 or 5 minutes to go that got you guys there?
Yeah, we just come together, so just lock in on defense and just the little things. And the possessions right there, 5 minutes and 4 minutes out, every possession matters. So.
Do you feel like the game last week against Staley where you guys were up big and maybe let go of the rope a little bit influenced what you guys were able to do down the stretch today?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. That we always learn from our mistakes. So, and that we was down right here today in the game and came back and fought hard. So.
Well, Walter Hill Jr., the game-winning 3 on a step back and had 26 points. Second straight game with a game winner. Thanks, Walter.
Appreciate it.
I can tell you one. Welcome back to Highland Community College. Now with Kevin Morales. Kevin, you ended with 9 points. I don't think that tells the story of what you did down the stretch in the second half. What changed from the first to the second half for you?
It was just like I just wanted to help my team at the point. Like, we was down when we shouldn't. We was down by, like, I believe, like 10, 11, something like that. And I don't know, I just, like, all I was thinking about was just defense. Like, get stops and then score, get stops and then score. Like, be patient. The first half, I was, like, rushing shots and stuff. So that's why I changed the second half. I was just patient, and I was making shots.
It seemed like you changed really the entirety of this game. You had 2 corner threes.
Yeah.
You were hyping up the bench. How important was that for your team and then you just as a player to be able to knock down those threes that you know you can hit?
It was really important for me. Yeah, it was really important for me.
And then can you just touch on Walter Hill Jr.? This is back-to-back games of the game winner.
Oh, yeah.
You're
That was a
one of
big
the
shot.
few returners with Walter. What have you seen so far this year? And then, that step-back 3.
From him?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot. He always do stuff like that in practice. Like, he's good. He's pretty good.
And then Jaheim back into the lineup.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was maybe his best game this season. What did you see from him doing everything?
That dunk he had it was just crazy. I ain't gonna. But he was pretty good.
Is that something you see in practice?
Yeah,
Those
all the time.
Is
Like-
anyone trying to stand in the way of him?
Nah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm the only one who could really jump with him. Like, on fast transition, yeah, I'm a jump with him. But all vert, no, I can't jump.
Maybe if we had an orange versus white game,
Yeah.
a scrimmage open to the public, that would be cool to see. But once again, Kevin Morales. Kevin, thanks for the time.
Yep.
Oh,
Welcome once again back to Freeport. Our last interview is with head coach Eric Walton. Eric, the first question I asked you last time is pretty much the same question I'll ask you this time. Ball was in Walter Hill Jr.'s hands again. What did he show there?
that's an assassin right there. I'm not gonna lie, that's an assassin. I put the ball in his hands, called a play. He ran it perfectly. Like I told you, I trust him. He drives me up a wall a lot of times, but I trust him. I trust him, and that was a big time 3 right there with pressure in his face, and he knocked it down.
Now, there was a couple other key contributors down the stretch, and all 3 of them that had giant games were returners. Now, can you touch on the impact that Kevin Morales made and Jaheim Segal back into the lineup?
Let's talk about Kevin. Kevin's been struggling scoring lately, and I challenged him at halftime to just play, get out of his head. And you see what Kevin did. Kevin can knock down big threes for us in transition. That's the one thing he's good at. When he's in rhythm, it can flow. And Jaheim, athletic freak. He can play above the rim, and oh my God, like some of the plays he had, you just don't see that from your everyday athlete, that you just get above the rim like that. And even that dunk, the last dunk he had, that was nice. I also got to give a lot of kudos to Muhammad Suleiman. He stepped up, and he struggled, but he stepped up. He knocked down a big 3 off a pump fake and everything. So I thought he did a good job. I had to push him more, but he did a good job out there.
I feel like there was a couple turning points in that game. You mentioned Mohamed Bello. The steal and deflection and getting you guys a second opportunity when all game Sauk Valley was controlling the glass. How key was that for you guys to stay in the game?
It's always come down to those one possessions with Sauk Valley, us against Sauk Valley. And that was key. That was a very big key play, the deflection, us to get it and then kind of go from there. It's always a battle. It's a battle. You know what? Hey, I'm glad the referee called that a 2 instead of a 3. I didn't know what it was, but hey, I'll take it.
Did you have any look of it?
I didn't have no look of it, but I'll replay it definitely later on. I'm gonna tell you right now. Call us the Cardiac Cougars, because right now that's 2 games in a row down the stretch. Here we go.
The Cardiac Cougars, back-to-back wins. I want to touch on this game in relation to the last game. Last game, felt you guys were sputtering down the stretch. Do you feel like that motivated your guys in your second half effort? Because really Sauk Valley led the entire second half until the last few minutes, which is kind of a flip of what happened on Saturday.
Yeah, it was. I kept looking at that clock like, don't run too fast, stay on our side, and it actually did. We just got some key rebounds, and Sauk actually hit some big shots. They got a couple of shooters over there, some key guys over there. But they hit some big shots, but we were able to withstand their blows and just come back and deliver our own and get stops at the key time. Give Coach Dandroff and Coach Sharp credit. Like it came down to the wire, and that's a Sauk Highland game right there.
Final question I'll ask you. What did you maybe know about your team before, but what did they prove here tonight in a rivalry matchup?
I'm going to be honest with you, Adam. They didn't prove anything to me that I already didn't know about them. I needed them to prove it to themselves that they can do it. I've seen this all along, that they can do these things and they can rise to the occasion. The one thing that they showed is even with Chin Hansen, who wasn't having his best game in the second half, the rest of them stepped up. So that's key for them, and just believing in one another. But everything that they've shown, I've already seen this. It's just a matter of them now believing it.
Well, another challenge ahead as Highland takes on Olive Harvey. Again, head coach Eric Walton, thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm hoping to. Welcome for the final time back to Highland Community College. The video feed is cut out, but we certainly appreciate the viewership here for the Highland Cougars as they took down the Sauk Valley Skyhawks. 90-89 the final.